In the golden era of hip-hop, the 1980s marked a time when the genre was still finding its voice, and the streets of New York City served as the playground for its pioneers. Among these visionaries was a young man named Sean Carter, who would later become one of the most influential figures in the rap game, Jay-Z. But Jay-Z wasn't just a newcomer who emerged with the release of Reasonable Doubt. His roots in the hip-hop scene run much deeper, intertwined with the fabric of the genre itself. Long before the world knew him as Jay-Z, he was making moves and building connections in the underground. But Jay-Z's connections ran even deeper. He walked the same hallways as hip-hop legends Christopher Wallace, known as Biggie Smalls or the Notorious B.I.G., and Trevor Smith Jr., better known as Busta Rhymes. These artists attended the same high school, creating a network of talent that would shape the future of the rap game. The hallways of Eli Whitney High School in Brooklyn became the breeding ground for some of the most significant names in hip-hop history. On December 4, 1969, in the heart of Brooklyn, New York City, a legend was born. His name, Sean Corey Carter aka Jay-Z. Raised in the tough streets of Marcy Houses, a public housing project in the Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood, the young Sean faced a reality that would shape the course of his life. As a child, Sean Carter was anything but the confident, charismatic figure we know today. In fact, he was a shy kid navigating a world that often seemed determined to test his resilience. However, the most pivotal moments of his early life unfolded when he was just 11 years old. At that tender age, Sean was confronted with a devastating blow when his father, Adnis Reeves, abandoned the family. The void left by his father's departure created a storm of emotions within the young boy: pain, anger, and a sense of responsibility that would shape his character for years to come. With his father gone, the weight of supporting the family fell heavily on young Sean's shoulders. The sense of duty and the harsh realities of life in Marcy Houses forced him to mature beyond his years. The 11-year-old boy found himself thrust into the role of a provider, a protector for his mother, and a guiding force for his siblings. Tragedy struck the Carter family once again when Sean's older brother, Eric, succumbed to the grip of addiction, falling victim to the crack epidemic that plagued many communities during that era. Faced with the harsh reality of his brother's struggle, Sean faced a moral dilemma. In a twist of fate, he made the decision to enter the very world that had ensnared his brother, the dangerous world of drug dealing. He sold crack for 14 years, and he says it was only when he got older that he really understood the consequences of drug dealing. One shocking incident happened when his brother Eric was at the height of his crack addiction. At the tender age of 12, with the weight of familial responsibilities and the harsh realities of Marcy Houses pressing upon him, Sean found himself drawn into a dark chapter that would leave an indelible mark on his journey. At just 12 years old, Sean acquired a gun from a friend's house and began carrying it with him. The dangerous streets of Brooklyn had become a proving ground, and Sean, compelled by the need to protect himself and those he cared about, was willing to take drastic measures. In a fateful twist, Eric, at the height of his addiction, stole Sean's ring. The culmination of tensions and emotions erupted, leading to a moment of impulsive and tragic decision-making. In an act of desperation, Sean shot his own brother, hitting him in the shoulder and sending him to the hospital. The incident could have torn the family apart, leaving scars that may never heal. Yet, in a surprising turn of events, Eric chose not to press charges. Instead, he extended an unexpected olive branch, requesting that Sean visit him in the hospital the very next day. In the aftermath of the shooting, a profound moment of reconciliation unfolded. Eric, grappling with the weight of his own actions and the toll of addiction, took the opportunity to apologize to his little brother. This shocking incident was not just a dark chapter in his life, it was a defining moment that would shape the man who would eventually rise to become Jay-Z. Jay-Z's recording career goes way back to the mid-80s, when he appeared on High Potence HP Gets Busy in 1985. Jay-Z, an older rapper who also grew up in Marcy, took a liking to the younger Brooklyn MC and mentored him during the early years. Sean decided he needed a new name. As a kid, he'd earned the nickname Jazzy, and combining this nostalgic label with his mentor's pseudonym, he started calling himself Jay-Z, a title that also harkened back to the J/Z subway station near his home. Together, Jay-Z, Jazz-O, and Brooklyn rappers and brothers Almond Joy and Easy LP formed a group called High Potent and dropped their only release HP Gets Busy in 1986. Jay-Z also became one of the first rappers to sign with EMI, taking Jay-Z to London with him in 1988 to record his debut album, Word to the Jazz. After the record failed to garner any momentum, Jay-Z continued to juggle full-time hustling and rapping. In 1990, things would heat up a bit more. After appearing on the Word to the Jazz single, young Sean Carter got another look from Jay-Z on the To Your Soul follow-up. It was also around this time that Jay found another mentor, from Brooklyn as well, in Big Daddy Kane. Although Kane would hold out putting young Jay-Z on his albums until 1994's Daddy's Home, the hopeful young Jay-Z traveled with the Bedford-Stuyvesant icon on the regular, where he would also famously run into Nas and Large Professor. While in one of these bonded times, Jay did appear alongside BDK on BET's Rap City. Later appearing on Jay-Z cuts like The Originators as well as on Big Daddy Kane's 94 Posse Cut Show and Proof and Big L's The Graveyard. Jay-Z appeared on a popular song by Big L, The Graveyard, and on Mike Geronimo's Time to Build, which also featured early appearances by his former Murder Incorporated colleagues Ja Rule and DMX in 1995. His first official rap single was In My Lifetime, which was released with an accompanying music video in 1995. An unreleased music video was also produced for the B-side, I Can't Get With That. From Jay-Z, he learned how to navigate the rap industry and what moves to make. He also participated in the group Original Flavor for a short time. Jay-Z subsequently decided to make an untraditional decision and start his own label rather than sign with an established one as Jay-Z had done. Together with friends Damon Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke, he created Roc-A-Fella Records. Once he found a reputable distributor, Priority Records, and later Def Jam, Jay-Z finally had everything in place, including a debut album, Reasonable Doubt, 1996. By the dawn of the new millennium, Jay-Z was swiftly becoming one of the biggest names in rap. In 1999, a fateful event happened to Jay-Z, and he almost ended his career. It was reported that during the evening of December 2nd, at the Kit Kat Club on West 43rd Street in Manhattan, Jay-Z confronted record executive Lance Rivera and allegedly stabbed him in the stomach and back. This incident occurred while attending a release party for Q-Tip's inaugural solo album, Amplified. The stabbing happened less than 2 hours after Jay had performed 6 songs from the album at a music industry listening party at the Irving Plaza. After the event, Jay and his 30-deep entourage headed to the release party. It was reported that the motive behind the assault stemmed from the widespread bootlegging of Jay-Z's forthcoming album, Volume 3, Life and Times of Sean Carter. The unauthorized distribution of the album, linked to the producer of Dope Man, producer Lance Rivera, posed a serious threat, potentially resulting in a loss of over 100,000 units in sales for the artist. With just a month remaining before the release, this situation marked the most severe case of potential damage to Jay-Z's sales that he had ever encountered. Following confrontations with various Def Jam recording staff and industry insiders, a consistent name surfaced, a person Jay-Z had considered a friend. Upon encountering Rivera at the Kit Kat Club, Jay confronted him, only to receive an unexpected response. Instead of expressing remorse, Lance Rivera responded defiantly, escalating the situation by getting loud. This lack of remorse and confrontational attitude infuriated Jay, leading him to seize at the bar and ultimately talk himself into a physical retaliation. According to the police, a member of Jay-Z's posse hit Lance over the head with a bottle. Then Jay-Z stabbed him with a 9-inch knife. Following the incident, Jay-Z retreated to the Trump Hotel on Central Park West and closely monitored the media coverage. Despite the police searching for him at his Fort Lee, New Jersey mansion, he remained elusive. On the afternoon of December 3rd, he contacted his criminal lawyer and, after careful consideration, resolved to surrender himself to the authorities. Roc-A-Fella Records and Def Jam released a statement at the time, denying the allegations. The rapper faced charges of 2 counts of first-degree assault and 2 counts of second-degree assault. His arraignment took place at 2:30 a.m., and he regained his freedom later that day by posting a $50,000 bail. The arrest swiftly turned into a publicity event for the district attorney. The DA orchestrated an impromptu press conference, parading him in front of the media that had gathered outside. In October 2001, Jay would plead guilty to a charge of third-degree assault and was sentenced to 3 years probation on December 6th. They later settled the matter out of court for around $1 million. 2 decades after the tumultuous events at the Kit Kat Club, a new chapter in the narrative unfolded. In an exclusive interview with journalist DJ Vlad on his widely followed YouTube channel, Lance Rivera stepped forward to contest the original accounts surrounding the incident that had transpired in the now-closed Kit Kat Club in New York City. The interview provided a platform for Rivera to share his perspective, revisiting the details of that night and shedding new light on the events that had been shrouded in controversy for over 2 decades. The revisiting of the incident brought forth a fresh examination of the past, inviting the audience to reconsider the complexities and nuances that often accompany high-profile legal cases. In a pivotal revelation during the interview with journalist DJ Vlad, Lance Rivera confronted long-standing assumptions about the Kit Kat Club incident, laying to rest a question that had lingered for over 2 decades. When directly asked if Jay-Z was the one who had physically harmed him, Rivera offered a definitive response: "Jay-Z was not the guy who actually stabbed me that night." Rivera admitted that he didn't know why people came to the conclusion that Jay-Z had stabbed him.